everyone, and welcome to another SFM Conversations with me, Rob Saul, for Shape Your Future Online. And I have a fantastic guest today to introduce to you all. Kevin Humphreys. Say hello, Kevin.
Hello, Kevin.
So we're going to dive into what Kevin's all about today, his journey of starting with an online as an online entrepreneur, and his what he's experienced with the SFM so far. Kev, let's just jump straight into this.
Sounds good.
With everybody, we need to find out a little bit about you.
Who's Kev?
Brought you here. Yeah, who is Kev?
Who's Kev?
But no one else does.
Well, I'm 26, obviously. That's what I always tell everyone. No, I was born in February 1966. That's the last time we won the World Cup of football. England, that is. In case anyone's anywhere else in the world, I'm in Buckinghamshire, in England, in the United Kingdom, in Europe, on the planet Earth. So who am I? Well, at school, I got into IT. And so that really has been my life. At 14, I had a ZX81 computer, and that was it. I just loved computers from that point onwards. Always being quiet, being the introvert. So sitting at a computer and working with the world was amazing. So yeah, at 17, I went to college, got my BEC National Diploma in Computer Science, as you do. And then that's it, straight into work at 17, and worked in IT, corporate IT for 34 years. And went up the slippery ladder, up the pole, and got to the very top, and was like an IT director basically. And at that point, I was at 48 when I first sort of really woke up to like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Am I going to keep doing this till I'm 65? And I was like, oh shit, I probably will be. And then of course they increased the age of retirement to 67. So yeah, it was back in August 2014 that I first started thinking, there's got to be something more to life than just this. I had all the money, I had a Porsche, I had a nice house, I had the 2 holidays a year, but I just wasn't fulfilled. So I sort of got to the top. It's like, okay, I'm here, I've made it. It's like, oh, okay. The view's not that great. And and it's quite lonely as well at the top, sort of. Yeah, it really is. And everyone's sort of trying to knock you off almost, it feels. So it was back in August 2014. I can't actually remember when I found the SFM. I don't know whether I found it on like a Google search or whether it was a video. I just can't remember. I was looking at, when you're looking at so many different things and you're sort of just searching. And I probably signed up for 20 of them. And I had like all these emails coming in. And there was one of them that just caught my attention, because she didn't just send emails like everyone else was doing with like loads of text and how wonderful we are. She actually sent a link to a video. They went to YouTube, and she sent me that, as well as like the standard SFM set of videos from Stu. So I watched Stu's one, and I actually didn't like the guy. He was standing by a car, and it's all a bit flash. I was like, no, this is a bit, it's obviously a con. But then this lady from Ireland called Satya Gillen, and I think she's still around the SFM. And she sent me. She was literally like walking in the park in Ireland, and it was August, so it was quite sunny. And I think there was like a challenge at the time, which was the bucket challenge. I don't know if you've seen that. You get a bucket of water with ice cold water.
Oh yeah.
And you chuck it on your head, and you do it for like charity. So she did that, and I was just like laughing my head off. I was like, actually, I think I'll have a go. So I actually went and did it myself and videoed it. That was my first video ever of me sitting on a chair, and my wife did the video. There's me on the patio, and I chucked this freezing cold water at me. I'm like, oh, fire, swearing away. And my wife just videoed laughing away in the background. That's like my first time I ever went on camera. So that's where it started. And because of Satya, because she was being herself, going for a walk and doing silly things, that's what attracted me. So I was like, what is this about? That's where it started.
Yeah. And then so what happened then, Kev? So when was that? 2014, you said?
August 2014. I think it was like 14th of August that I I did that sign up, got the video series. So yeah, what happened next was I did the standard thing where you get really excited. Oh, this is amazing. So I went straight to elite. Because I thought this is what I need to do: position yourself so that you've got the higher commission rates and get all the bonus training sort of thing. So yeah, and then I had my call with Mark, and at that point I went on the amazing calls that last 2 or 3 hours where Jay goes on and on and on about the systems and explains it in huge detail, and that's almost like a barrier. If you can't work your way through that 2-3 hour course, and this isn't for you, almost. That's what I see it as. So yeah, on that, they were sort of talking about positioning, and I was thinking, no, I'm good at elite. I'm a good at elite. And then I sort of thought about it for a while. I had some room on a credit card, so I was like, oh damn it! If you're going to do it, you might as well go for it properly. So I went in at DEA Gold, and literally at that time, obviously, I was working, and I was doing 90-minute commutes each way. So it was long days, and I'd literally say, right, okay, I'm going to have 2 hours every evening. And I spent 2 hours every evening for the next 6 months going through the training. And so it was slow progress. So after 6 months, I got to the point where I had all my systems set up and I was all ready to go. I decided that Facebook was my engine. I was going to do all my advertising on there. And basically 6 months after August, I actually resigned, and I said, right, I'm going for this. I had some money saved up. I said, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to give it a year. And that's what I did. I went full pelt for a year. So the following December 2015, I was on the leaderboard. I was number 1 for leads and all the rest of it for like a week. It's like, oh, I made it. It's like, okay, this is it. This is my new life. I'm going to be jet setting all over the place, like all the top guys now. And then at that point, that's when it all went. Basically, YouTube and AdWords got together, and they didn't like the fact that lots of us SFMers were all using the same video. So we were all using the video of Stuart on his pedalo in India or wherever it is.
This was before that you had to make your own content.
Yeah. So that they basically did is they went around and started shutting down everyone's AdWords accounts that were using it. So we were all in a mad panic to remove all of those videos from our YouTube that weren't ours, didn't have us on it. So we had to clear all those out. And by the time I'd done that, I think we got to sort of like February, and my funnel just dried out. But this time I had like 50 people in my team, and yeah, I basically ran out of money. So I ended up going back to work, and I went back as an IT contractor. And so I went back for a year, and then sort of tried again. I didn't really have the right mindset for doing it. I was a bit like, oh, it doesn't work, and I couldn't get a video out that I was happy with and that resonated with people. And in many ways, I just sort of like, oh well. I've learned lots. I've learned lots of digital skills. I know how to create websites properly. I can do video. I did the 90-day video challenge. It was called now. It's called The Journey, and that got me confident on camera. Because the first time you speak, it's like, whose voice is that? It's like, do I talk like that? Oh, look at it. I've got my eyebrows are lopsided and my nose is too fat. And it's like now it's like, oh well, that's the way it is. And that I got through that. And that was amazing, and that really helps your confidence. But yeah, so I went back to work, but during the whole journey, I think it's like the modules 2 and 3, they start talking about mindset. And I realized that actually my first attempt was, my mindset was in the wrong place, and my sort of half effort second attempt, my mindset was in the wrong place. And during that, I realized I actually need to do something about my mindset. And that's where I got introduced to Satori Prime, Guy and Lon Ferdman. They do their like Thursday slot now, don't they? And they used to do that before. They are also my gold coaches. And there was just something about them that just really resonated. And they were just like so polished and all the rest of it. I was like, okay, there must be something in this mindset thing. And they got me into reading. And I hadn't read, like I left school college, 17. I hadn't read a book since then until I was like nearly 50. Because this is like, oh, I've done with education. I'm not really interested anymore. So yeah, I got into the habit of reading literally a book a week. Then I discovered that you can do the old Jackanory one on here and get the Audible. And I started listening then to like 2 books a week and just absorbed loads and loads and loads of information. So yeah, so that's where we are all now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting, isn't it, that you know, some people do incredibly well, and you know, someone like Dan Holloway, for instance, come in and crushed. You know, after about a year, started really crushing it.
Yeah.
Whereas some people, like maybe like yourself, in you know, the first time around, where you know the systems are there, it's all set up and it's all working.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess, when you know everyone was using that one video of Stuart's, or you know, using Stuart's content, it's pretty easy, isn't it? Because you get your system set up and you get it out there and it starts running.
Yeah, exactly.
But then when it comes to the fact that you've got to start then creating your own content, because you weren't in the right mindset, that's when it started to fall apart. So it really shows it's nothing to do with the system. The system is the same for absolutely everybody. You get it set up.
Yeah, exactly.
The same thing. It's all about your content and your message. And if you're not in the right place, in the right frame of mind, then it's not going to work. It's not going to resonate with people. So the work itself is the most important thing. Everything, all the systems already set up is there.
Yeah, the system, I set the system up in 6 months, doing only 2 hours every night. So if you can do that, you know, if you can work that out, that's probably 2 months work, isn't it? Maybe if you're sitting on it solidly. So one of our guys currently has just joined from France. He set his system. He started at the beginning of last month, and I think it was took him 4 weeks to go through all the modules and set his system up. But he was doing it like full time. He's an actor between films, basically, and so he's just like fully on it, doing sort of like 10-12 hour days, and he got it all set up in a month, and he's now done his first video, because he's used to be on camera because he's an actor. So he's done this amazing video. He's a good looking guy, and he's got a bit of an accent, so I'm sure he's going to crush it. On YouTube. So,
it's interesting. Well, I mean, you know, I wouldn't say I've never read a book since I kind of left school, but I certainly didn't used to read like I do now. You know, I'm reading about a book a week at the moment. Quite deep subjects as well. It's really important, isn't it, to get that mindset right? But then from you learning how to do the online business stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're running your affiliate business with a couple of other guys, I think, as well, aren't you?
Yeah, we're called the Magpies.
Yeah, you're also developing your own things now as well, aren't you? And you're actually one of Satori Prime's coaches, one of Guy Alon's coaches as well. Because right now you, Kevin, is because you've actually coached me, haven't you?
That's true.
For 100 days.
Yeah, I know.
For 100 days.
Yeah, that was hard work.
But yes, talk us through kind of that process, how you got involved with that. Because that would have never happened, would it, if you were in IT?
No. I mean, as I say, I was in IT. I had this mindset that I was going to be working until I retired, and then just something. I think it was because I was coming to 50. Yeah, it's that big number, isn't it? 50. You think you should have made it, and you should know who you are and all the rest of it by then. I knew how to make money, but I didn't know who I was. I had that like niggling, like, what's my purpose? Well, I'm here. How's creating websites and creating systems that help people sell stuff? Because I used to work for lots of e-commerce companies. How's that really beneficial? You know, how's that really helping them? But it's not. And it's like, I feel like I want to help the world. And that's where I sort of met Satori Prime, Guy and Lard Ferdman, and I did their 100-day masterclass like back sort of 2.5, 3 years ago. Actually, it's probably 3 years ago now, because it was like November, so it must be just over 3 years. I did that, and out of that, as you know yourself, it answers lots of questions, and it makes you look at your life. And the biggest thing for me at that point was I didn't know where I was going, but I also had lots of family issues. So I hadn't spoken to my brother for 10 years. And I had that relationship with my dad where it was a case of, I still remember the time when I was 14 and he told me off about some math stuff. And I still thought of I still interacted with him like a 14-year-old, really. Yeah, even in my 40s and 50s. Yeah. So part of that process with Satori Prime, I patched up the relationship with my brother. I hadn't spoken for 10 years, which is absolutely amazing. And I spoke to my dad, had this conversation for an hour and explained how I was talking to him. And now so I've got this relationship now with my family that's superb. Unfortunately, my dad and brother still don't talk to each other, but that's something apart. So I felt like my foundations of my life became more solid. And before that, it was a bit shifting sandy because I wasn't talking to this person, wasn't talking to that person, wasn't being my true authentic self. And yeah, so basically I went through all the training. I've done all the training that Satori Prime do, and I got to the end of it. I was like, okay, I feel like I want to give back. And I said, I fancy doing some coaching. And they were like, that's a good idea. Maybe we should do that. And then basically what they did was, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to actually take the 100-day masterclass that you guys did, and we're going to package that up and get you guys to coach it. And so that's what we did. The very first time I did the coaching, I was petrified that people were going to ask some question. I felt like I was a fraud, you know. Yeah. And you do, but you go through the process and you realize that it's not about you. And coaching is about the person that you're coaching, and you learn to sort of hold a space of neutrality and non-judgment. And that, being able to do that, fixed a huge amount of my mindset. So sort of once you learn something, it's like the learn, do, teach, isn't it?
Yeah.
And teaching someone else what you've learned really actually allows you to see what you've learned, and it really instills it really in deep inside you. So like if the SFM, if you learn how to use Aweber, the person that's come behind you doesn't know how to use Aweber, so you can start teaching them how to use Aweber, and then all the other bits of the process. And that's the same with coaching. It made me realize how powerful a small piece of knowledge is that you can then share with someone else, and you get so much love from people, from the students, if you're available and you're willing to teach them. So like we've been teaching this guy from France, Dale, and he's like, I can't set up Aweber, and I'm like, okay, I set up Aweber 4 years ago. How did I do that? So, but we just sat together and went through it, and that's what I think that's one of the things once you're in the SFM is help the people that have come in, so show that you're human, show that you're real, and help them with all the different modules, help them set up their website, Aweber, help them get their advertising going. Yeah, I absolutely love.
It's not about being an expert, is it? I think it's just being one out of someone, and the more you do start to reach out and help people, the more experienced you become. I think it's interesting, like you're talking about, when changing your mindset.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you probably joined or did start to get involved with Guy and Ilan and did the 100-day masterclass probably because you wanted to absolutely crush it in your online business. Is that why you started?
Yeah, you see, yeah, exactly. You see them, they're like the millionaires and smooth and all rest and sorted it all out. And you think, okay, I need a part of that.
but then it's interesting what then happens, because the conversation moves way away from making money and building your online business into, right, okay, what's actually behind me actually doing that? It's these conversations that I need to have with my father. And so you're 14 with your father, this story. For me, I'm 11 years old, and my mother's telling me to stop being obnoxious and to go with the status quo and do what everyone else is doing, because that'll keep you safe, that'll make you happy. I don't want to do that. I want to do something different. And that program has been running my life. Mm-hmm. So it's not, when we talk about mindset, it's not about, you just need to sort of get on with things and, get motivated. You can do this. That's not mindset. That's just a bit of motivation. You can watch a video motivating you, and then that's all.
It lasts for seconds, doesn't it?
You're back in your old programs, because it's stuff that's deep rooted inside you that you've got to get involved with. That's mindset change. And I think we've done that. Once I didn't even, for that 100 days, I didn't even talk anything about my business, as you know, because I talk with you. It's all about my mother. It's all about my relationship with my son. And stuff like that. When I've started to heal that and sort it all out, I'm now in a position where I can actually really focus on the business. and just really have no fear about it whatsoever. I know what holds me back.
Yeah,
know it. And so I just think it's really interesting, and I hope people out there really realize that this mindset stuff is way, way deeper than.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when you start the SFM, your whole mindset is like, I need to be advertising, I need to be making money. And what people do is they skip through and I have to admit, I skipped through some of it myself. I sort of did the ideal day, which I thought was amazing. So I'm going to have the Porsche, I'm going to have the car, and I'm going to have the holidays and the rest of it. But yeah, the mindset bit, you give it second sort of service, don't you? Because you've not really seen it in action. And once you start to see it in action, you hear other people talking about it, you can go a bit deeper and a bit deeper. And it is like, it's a big onion. You sort of, it's layers, there's layers, and you sort of work your way to the middle, to the thing that really is holding you back. And we've all got something. We're all don't feel worthy enough. Yeah, I even had the one where I didn't feel like I was worthy of money. So I was brought up as a Christian, and it was the old thing of it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. So I was always like, well, I don't want to be rich. And then you get the stories of rich people are arseholes and the rest of it, and they use people. Then you get into this community and you meet millionaires, and lots of them that actually are amazing people. They've gone through that mindset journey, and they don't think that way at all. They don't use people, they help people. And when people were trying to help me, I can't believe someone wants to help me. Why are they helping me? And I've sort of realized now so much that actually once you get to a certain point and you've got a certain amount of money, money's not important anymore. Once you've got it, it's not important. It's important when you haven't got it, but once you've got it and you've got a steady income and it's coming in, it's less important. And then you go through that process where you buy all the cars and you go to all the parties. That soon runs out, and you realize that on the other side of that, there's the fact that you actually want to give back, and you want to help that person who's down there that's got no money come to the point where they've got the same money as you. And then they go through the same process, and you have a community then of people that have all gone through the mindfulness bit, and they're all on the same page, and they all help each other out. And that's the most amazing bit for me, is the community. It's really hard to sell that to people. It's really hard to explain to people that aren't in it how amazing it is and how everyone supports everyone, and how it's not about I'm going to win. It's like we're all going to win. And I have to say that's the bit I love the most. That's why I've stayed in it for 4 years. It's why when I wasn't sure about it, I kept going, knowing that we would come back. And as you know, we've come back as the Magpies, as Richard Clark and Ryan Farrelly. All of us have been in it for like 4 years. We got together at one of the Momentum days, and we went out for a drink in the Three Magpies. So that's why we called the Magpies.
Is that why? Right.
Yeah. And yeah, so we started in January. We went through the process of not being confident in our videos, and we literally spent 6 months just playing the videos. We did our own video challenge. We got to the point where we all had, we must have done 100 videos each easily. We got to the point where we actually each had a couple of videos we liked, and that's the ones we've gone with. And we're doing well. We started advertising 5 months ago. We've got 40 people in our team now.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, so and because we had all that knowledge behind us, and we also had the mindset of knowing this will work, rather than like, oh, I hope it's going to work. You commit differently, and you take different decisions. And sometimes where you had fear previously and you stopped a campaign, we now have got the knowing that it will work because we've seen other people having it work. So we've just kept going. No results, and then loads of results.
Yeah. I've seen you keep posting on Facebook. Boom, 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 boom. That's really good. A couple of things I picked up on that, Kev, was first one was so some shared experience here. When I first started looking at the 7-day video series, I was looking at Stuart and I was like, I'm sure about this guy. He looks so polished, and he's in my
Mr. Smooth.
He's got the Porsches and all this sort of business. And I didn't. So I came in through Christian Beer, and I had a really good chat with him. You know, he's a multi-millionaire, but he seemed very kind of real. But I was speaking to him. Well, of course, he's real. He is real.
Yeah.
But then you would just see Stuart, and he would, he looks like this multimillionaire, which he is, and you don't trust him because you have this perception of what rich people are like.
Yeah.
And then, a few months ago, I met Stuart and I was chatting with him at an event. He's the most down-to-earth, lovely, generous, compassionate human being you could meet. He's just a lovely, lovely guy, really trying to make something work for people. So I picked up on that. It is amazing. And same with Guy and Ilan as well. Matt, Guy and Ilan as well. They're incredible. And the other thing I guess was the community, and just encourage people to get involved with it. It's not until you actually start to get involved, especially through the 90-day video journey.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I regularly, every week, I would say, speak to at least one person. I make videos like this with people, and just mastermind with people, and people help me, etc. So I can't recommend enough sort of people getting involved with the community like that. But so you've done the affiliate thing. You've come back. You're doing the affiliate thing again, and you're starting to really get results with it. You're working with Guy and Ilan. You're a coach with them. But now you're starting to develop a couple of other income streams, aren't you?
Well, that's the thing. Somebody once said to me, "There's 7 income streams for most millionaires."
How many? 7.
7. That's what I've been told. So I've dabbled a bit in e-commerce as well. So there's the import experts with, I think it's at the silver level, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've done that training, and I've got my little accreditation. It's my first certificate for many years. So I've looked into that, and I set up a website, and I've set that all ready to go. But what I need to do is actually take some of the investment money once we get some income coming back, and there's a good profit with what we're doing with the magpies. We're then going to take that, and then we're going to actually do some import export stuff and pick some products. So that's one of the areas that it's all set up. We've got all the knowledge. It's just a case of picking the products and getting the cash together to buy that sort of big load of, I don't know, $5,000 worth of products. So that's one of them. The other one is I do my own coaching. So I'm have it all coach with Story Prime, and I do my own mindfulness and life coaching on the side as well. And then recently, we've got horses. My wife and I've got 2 horses, one each, and they're quite old. One's 27 and one's 23. And for horses,
how long do they live for, Kevin? I don't know much about horses.
Yeah, well, horse that's quite mature. So if you take their age and times it by 3, that's equivalent of a human age. So they're in their 60s and 70s. They're mature, and they all creak a bit, and they're a bit arthritic. And somebody said to me, "You need to do some Reiki on them." I was like, "Reiki? What's that?" And so I looked into it and found out that it's an energy, and it's all quite spiritual and the rest of it. And that's one of the other areas I sort of opened up that can of worms recently and dove in, and I'm really enjoying the sort of spiritual side of life.
Yes,
but yeah, and it's sort of the next level of mindfulness. It's like the meditation, which I do every morning now for at least 15 minutes. That just calms you. So often you get up in the morning and you've got hundreds of things. I've got to do this, and I've got to do that ad, and I've got to do this video, and I've got to speak to that person. I've got to do this interview, and you're like, oh, you get almost overwhelmed. You just sit there 15 minutes in your meditation, and then you come out of it and you're like, oh, I'm fine. It's calm. I'm calm. I'm good. Yeah, it's amazing. It really is. But yeah, so I recently started doing some Reiki. I went on a Reiki course, do Reiki 1 and 2, and then you could be a practitioner. I'm now a practitioner, and I had my first 2 clients yesterday. My first 2 horses and a rider, which was amazing. And Reiki energy. It's basically as a Reiki practitioner, all you are is like a portal for the energy. So all you do is you get attuned to the energy, and you basically imagine that your legs are like tree trunks into the middle of the earth, and you imagine there's some light coming down, and it goes through your chakras, and then it comes up, it comes out your hands, and you just aim it at whatever it is, human, horse. You can even put it in your food. You can put it in your water. You can Reiki your water. and it sort of makes it. It's very clever. It's for some people it's a bit out there. I understand that, but yeah, I'm really enjoying that. So that's my other business.
But yeah, I guess my point I'm making here is that you, through your education at SFM, it's not. I mean, you can just exclusively do the affiliate side of stuff, but you've learned how to set up websites, to set up a sales funnel.
Exactly. Yeah.
To advertise on Facebook or whatever it is.
Yeah.
To get people to give you another income stream, doing things you're passionate about.
Exactly. Well, I sell equine boots as an affiliate. So I've got a Facebook page that literally I just set up, and all it is a link to they're when horses have like pulled a tendon, they're magnetic boots. So if people are looking for magnetic boots on Facebook, then they'll find my page. They'll click on it, go through, and I'll get like the 10-15% commission. Yeah, and I know people have set up guitar shops online. They don't actually have any physical stock, and all they're doing is sending people through to somewhere else and making some commission. People have set up holiday ones. You can do anything. It's wherever you love or your passion. It could be golf balls. It could be anything.
Whatever it is, absolutely.
Yeah, obviously the SFM teaches you how to sell the SFM. But once you've got that understanding, you have to then realize that actually you're now able to sell anything you ever wanted. Maybe it's Bentleys or planes or whatever. It could be, couldn't it? It could be anything. As long as
you get a good markup on those, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yachts, whatever you fancy. Yeah, maybe it's just
islands.
I mean, I've got islands. Yeah, I mean, I do lots of books as well. I read a book and then I'll recommend it. I'll post it on Facebook, and then I'll link people through to say this is a really good book, and I'll get people to go to Audible or Amazon, and that's my link. And okay, you're not going to make a fortune because the book's £5 and you make 10%. It's still money. It adds up, and it's like you got an income here, and an income here, and an income here, and an income there, and then they sort of all balance each other out.
Oh, it works.
One of them will take off, and one of them maybe won't do so much.
So what about? So how many income streams have you got? About 4 or something at the moment. Then, so what? Is there anything else in the pipeline, Cav, or are you fixed at the moment?
There's those, and also in going through this process, my wife also woke up to this, and of course I've gone a long way, and I'm always like trying to pull her into it, and she's I'm not into affiliate marketing, not into that, but I got her into sort of a bit of mindset. So we went to Millionaire Mindset intensive recently, and as part of that she's met a few people, and she works for basically a company that sells houses, and I bought her the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, and she read that, and when she came out she's like, hold on a sec, I see what you're saying now. So she's now become a property investor. So we sold our house April this year, and I gave her all the money and said, go on then, off you go. So she's still doing her day job, but she's now got 6 houses. She's buying another 7 at the moment, and we're basically doing these as buy to rent out. And so I'm also helping a bit with that. And what I've got a big pension pot, and it turns out that through talking to someone she knows, and it turns out that they spoke to someone else, you can actually take your pension pot and take 50% of it and use it as an investment in properties. Right. So I'm currently doing that. So next year, it takes about 3 months to get the pot together. So next year I'm going to become a property investor as well. So, and that's the true sort of Rich Dad Poor Dad book. That's what he's all about. Property.
Yeah.
So I read
that book actually.
I've read it and I've reread it.
Do I need to now? I don't know. I'm concentrating more on the spiritual. I think at the moment. But
So
I think that just shows you, doesn't it, that there's just so much available to you.
Yeah, exactly. You're sitting in IT in your little job. Yeah. Well, I sat in IT in my little job, and I thought that was it. I had no idea. It's almost like you go through life with blinkers on, and then the SFM just takes that off, and you meet things. You meet people from all walks of life as well. There's doctors, nurses, and engineers, and teachers, and mums that are sitting at home and rest of it. And that's the great thing about it. And there's no sort of no one seems to think they're better than you, which is great. And that just does something for your confidence. It makes you realize that once you sort of look at your fears, or we've all got a fear of something, and if you look at that fear and move through the fear, on the other side that's probably where your destiny is. That's probably one of the big things is face your fears. A lot of us are afraid to, and we also get all those other people that love us that are afraid for us, that we're going into some sort of scam or somebody's going to steal all our money. You have to sort of look at them and say, thanks for loving me, but this is my life, and I'm going out and I'm going to try it.
I think it's quite an amazing story, actually, yours, Kevin, because I think there's a lot of people who would have given up when you went back to work.
Yeah,
that will happen with a lot of people. Something will go wrong for them, or they just feel like they can't do it, and then they'll go back to work, and then they've missed that opportunity. It's gone. But you come back, and then not only have you come back doing the affiliate stuff, but you've started so much more. You just now understand how it works. But would you say that's all come from the change of mindset?
Yeah, completely. You change your mindset, and you become confident in your own ability, and you feel that the universe has got your back. And you've also got a whole community of people in the SFM that have got your back. There's always someone you can ask a question of that you're not sure what to do or how to look at something, which is it is. What we all do is we sit in I used to sit in my little corner typing away, doing my coding or rest of it, and that feels safe. And it's that moving out of the safety into the area that feels unsafe, that's where you find all the growth. And what you do, as I find, is that the more you step into that area of like, oh, it feels a bit, oh, I'm not sure about this, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. It's a bit like jumping in the cold sea. The first time you jump in the cold sea, it's like, oh, flipping hell, but the more you do it, the more you get used to it. So like one of the guys in our team, Richard, he goes swimming in the sea in Guernsey, and it's like freezing, and he does that every Thursday now. But he says he's got so used to it that the first few times he's like, oh, now he just like gets in, it's fine, and after about 15 minutes swimming, he's warm. And it's the same with anything in life. You do it a few times, and you soon realize that actually it's not that hard, not that terrible. And there's all these other people in the SFM that are doing it and are successful. You look at the leaderboard now, it's swapping and changing all the time with all these new names. In the past, it used to be the same people. When I joined, it was the same people all the time, Lifestyle Team and Story Prime, and now it's all different people. It's just a case of, it's like, as I say, the first time somebody ran under 10 seconds, which was like, everyone was trying to break that record. Suddenly, everyone's like, hold on a sec, I can do that. And the same with, was it Mr. Bannister doing the 4-minute mile? Everyone was trying to do that for ages and ages and ages. As soon as one person's done it, you know that someone else can do it. It changes your mindset, and you think, right, I can do that as well. So that's the same with the SFM. Lots of people are making good money. You stick with it, you can do it as well.
Good stuff. So is there any sort of, before we wrap this up, is there any sort of advice you might give someone who's kind of just getting going and maybe they're struggling a little bit? So I know it's like you say, sometimes you start off and you're so passionate and this is amazing, and then you kind of, maybe you feel a little bit overwhelmed and like, wow, can I do this?
I think that, you get that thought in your head. We all get that thought, and that's your old programming, where it's trying to keep you safe. So your mind is designed to keep you safe. So you're now doing something that is dangerous, and therefore your mind's trying to keep you safe. So the main thing is just say to your mind, thanks for that, however I can do this, and just be consistent. Those days where you wake up and you're like, oh, I can't be asked for this, just do something that's thinking about creating a lead. It's all this process is leads. It's 80% of it is creating leads. Once you've got your system, it's all about creating the leads. And it's just do something every day to create a lead, even if it's just sending a blog post out or putting something on Facebook, or it's being that consistent motion. When you stop, it's so hard to get going again. So it's better, like if you go running and you get tired, you don't just stop. You move, you walk, don't you? Yeah. I think it's the same with the SFM. Is sometimes you'll be sprinting, and sometimes it'll be amazing, and sometimes you'll be crawling, and then you'll be sprinting again. And it's that journey of life, isn't it? It goes in waves and flows. And then the more you realize that it will be up and downs, then the more you think, actually, while I'm down, that means next it's going to be up. And then when you're up, realize that at some point it will go down. So prepare your mindset for it. And it isn't up and down all the time, just like life. But yeah, just keep at it and ask for community if you're stuck, because someone will always have a good word to say or some amazing advice.
Good stuff. Right, thanks very much for talking with us today, Kev.
My pleasure, mate.
Yeah. Okay. See you, everyone.
See you, everyone.
Bye.